What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Before we get into this week's video, I want to tell you guys I'm doing a little giveaway. So if we get to 100 subscribers, I will give away this really sweet Donald Cerrone autographed photo. Check it out, it's pretty cool. It's authenticated by Pristine Auction, which is one of the most reputable authentication companies in the business. It's a really cool piece. So if we get to 100 subscribers on the channel, and all you got to do is like the video and make a comment saying that you subscribe to the channel, and then I'm going to do this for 1 month. And if we get past 100 subscribers, I'm going to pick one lucky subscriber. I'm going to reach out to you guys. I'm going to get your contact info, and I'm going to send you this really sweet picture. Check it out. It's pretty cool. And thank you guys for tuning in, and here comes this week's video. We're going to be discussing all things Francis Ngannou. After this weekend's fight, Dana White released a plethora of news to the MMA community, one being that they released heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. And I don't know what's going on with Dana White, but he's trying to spin it that, I think he was quoted saying that Francis wants to fight lesser competition for more money, suggesting that he's scared to fight some of the UFC's best heavyweights. But let's call a spade a spade. The UFC's heavyweight division is probably the most lackluster division in the entire UFC besides maybe 125. I mean, how many great heavyweights are there left in the UFC? We got like Pavlovich, Blades, Gane, and now Jon Jones. So that's it. And he's fought all those guys before. So it doesn't make any sense to me why Dana White would try to spin it in this way, other than to disparage Francis Ngannou and getting his next gig. So what do we think is next for Francis Ngannou? For me personally, if I'm Francis, I'm looking for that big payday. If he scores a big fight with, say, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, or Tyson Fury, he's going to probably make more money in that one fight than he would make in the next 10 years fighting in the UFC. That's the difference between boxing and the UFC. The UFC controls everything, from top to bottom. In boxing, it's the promoters that control everything. And when the promoters control everything, the biggest fighters make incredible amounts of money. So Francis has always discussed wanting to get into boxing, and I think this is the perfect opportunity. I just don't think leagues like Bellator or PFL are going to be able to give Francis the type of money that he wants or he deserves, right? So Francis comes from absolutely nothing. He's been homeless. He's been a refugee. Francis is not scared of any man. And for Dana White to try to spin it in this direction is absolutely insane. With everything that happened with Dana White over the past few weeks, with him slapping his wife, and nothing happening from Endeavor or Disney or any of the UFC's partners, I think this is going to be even worse for UFC fighters. I think this is going to even give the UFC and Dana White more control, which is scary for UFC fighters. And I think people like Nate Diaz and Francis Ngannou and a bunch of others are beginning to realize this, that once they make their name in the UFC, they can branch out to other opportunities and make a lot more money. The UFC loves to give out these long 8, 10, 12 fight contracts because they can control you. They only have to offer you 3 fights a year, and whether you take them or not is up to you. Once they offer you those 3 fights, their obligation is gone. So, and you don't make any money unless you fight. So they really, really have these guys by the balls. It's a sad state of affairs for UFC fighters. But let's get back to Francis. He's going on Ariel Helwani's show today to give his half of the story, and I can't wait to watch that video and see what's going on there. But we can see that Dana White is in a power struggle with his fighters right now. And every fighter like Francis Ngannou that just says, fuck it, I'm leaving, is one step closer to these fighters getting a union and better pay. So kudos to Francis for standing up for what he believes in. And let's be honest, the heavyweight division is Bush. It's trash. He's not scared of any of these guys. He can knock any one of these guys out easily. And Jon Jones coming up to heavyweight, I mean, Jon Jones had a really tough time dealing with Dominic Reyes. I mean, if he's getting cracked by Reyes, Francis can definitely find that chin. So there's no way he's scared to fight Jon Jones. So, what do you guys think about this Francis Ngannou situation? Where do you think he's going to go? Do you think he's going to go boxing? You think he's going to stay in MMA? Me personally, I think he's going to go to boxing. He might want to take a lesser fight, maybe Ortiz, to like build up to see where he's at with his boxing skills, and then take the big money fight to like Joshua and Wilder and Tyson Fury. Or you know what? He might just say, screw it. I'm going for the big dogs. I want Tyson Fury. They were already in the ring together discussing, having a little back and forth. So, I mean, if he gets that Tyson Fury fight, what's he going to make? 20, 30, 40 million dollars for one night's pay? I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, there's no way. I mean, what's the most money that he's going to get from the UFC per fight? 400, 500,000 and some pay-per-view points. But he's not a huge UFC pay-per-view draw. But if he fights someone like Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, those pay-per-view numbers are going to be massive. Alright guys, thank you for tuning into this video, and we'll catch you guys at the next fight.